You know what? I'm gonna just straight up turn this into a video because I don't have the time or energy to, um, write a wall of text. So I dropped this comment: steroids and surgery shorten your life, bro. Same men who overwork themselves to an untimely demise to please a woman who doesn't find them attractive in a dead bedroom and spend zero time with children. The first thing I'll do after I make good money from med school is surgery and steroids. And this guy, not Road, but this other guy that Road has replied to here, he writes this. Um, not this guy. I mean, isn't it obvious why alcohol is at the top? But because people overconsume alcohol like it's some soft drink and then go out ahead and have a bar fight or something. Of course, it's at the top. Yeah, this comment. Um, You are generally going to ruin your life, bro. First of all, no one is that ugly. Just focus on yourself and do basic skincare, working out, and it will be more than enough. You will still have your family, mother, father who still love you no matter how you look. We have only discussed this about 10,000 times, so let's just talk about this. But again, I will add another angle, which is, I believe, which is quite uncommon for a lot of the Western audience when you are talking about Eastern cultures. So you don't probably understand this, but I think I think you will get it as I start talking. First of all, women rate the average man 3. So yes, the average man is considered extremely ugly. So you are saying, oh, nobody is that ugly. Just check who works more hours on average. Just check who works more hours on average, and also which gender is complaining a lot about men not working enough. Men simultaneously work more hours, and also men are less appreciated for the hours they work. They're like, oh, we do unpaid labor, oh, you make us do so much labor, and this kind of retarded songs that people like Paris Paloma have come up with, while every single data set shows that men work 6 hours more. They work the more difficult jobs, the more physically draining jobs. They are in the jobs which are more life threatening. They are the ones whose lives are actually shortened by the jobs that they are working. So, of course, you're talking. So, if your point is that no one is that ugly that they have to overwork their way into death, then you are absolutely just a retarded weirdo, at this point of time. If you are in this space and you're still commenting this, you're just retarded. And, of course, on paper, it seems like that there is no correlation between attractiveness and relationship satisfaction, and that agreeableness is the biggest predictor of relationship satisfaction in a lot of these personality related studies. But here's another thing: relationship satisfaction is a subjective metric determined by your objective optionality. Of course, a man who has never been shown any kind of interest, genuine desire, thinks that a suboptimal average relationship with low intimacy is a good relationship, is a happy relationship. So, of course, they think that way. Of course, they have to initiate everything. They have to do the work. They have to do all of the jobs, and then still hear nagging, and they'll be like, "Oh, it's happiness." If and then there's another favorite quote of mine. Oh, if there was no nagging at our homes, then it wouldn't be a peaceful home. What good is a peaceful, calm home? That's just a loser's argument that a peaceful, calm home is somehow inferior to a nagging, annoying bitch who constantly complains 24/7 instead of shutting the fuck up and sucking your cock. That's the most dumb, retarded argument I ever hear. It's weird that some people genuinely make this argument. Oh, it's a lively home. Shut the fuck up. It's not a lively home. It's a dead bedroom. Moving on, of course, men have to work more hours. Men still have to listen that they're not doing enough. Because for the average woman, until a man who isn't Chad isn't spending every living moment spending time on her or making her life easier, is is a problem. That's the thing. Men can work more hours, men can work the more difficult hours, but you will still have social narratives, popular narratives talking about how women are made to do too much labor, right? And you still have your family, mother, father. For retards like you, it's so easy to say that. Yes, I have a mother and father. In fact, my father is out of the picture. I still have to acknowledge him as my father because I can't. I just can't go out and tell people that he's an asshole. But yeah, I still have to recognize him. But yes, I've seen when I've told mom when I've told my mom that I don't want to get married, and she is, you should see the despair on their face. Here's the thing: in a lot of Eastern cultures, they have high hopes for their sons. They hope that their son is going to get married, they're going to have a family, they're going to have a bloodline and whatnot, like all of that shit. And this was quite literally her argument. She was like, "Oh, but your grandfather was such a good man. He was a freedom fighter, and he was so loved and such a good political leader. He's not going to have a bloodline." Like, you listen to that shit and the sadness in their voice and the despair on their face. The thing is, you cannot really say no, but at the same time, you don't want to be one of these guys who constantly talk about how happy they are while they're in a relationship which is actively destroying their life. And um, so basically, getting married or getting into a relationship, like, which is long term and stable, is related to making your parents happy. You don't want them to spend their last breath thinking that they have failed in life or their son is defective. You don't want them to do that. But at the same time, if you are intelligent enough, you don't want to walk into a landmine which ruins your life on an emotional and mental level. But of course, these people don't understand that, and they don't understand that because, according to them, being abused, being in a low intimacy relationship is good enough, I guess. But it's not good enough for anyone who realizes this, who sees this. I mean, if you want to get a very good idea of how ugly women consider men to be, you don't even look at these studies from Diego Costa and Mice Triperi from 2013, where the average man is rated around 30 to 35 points on a 100-point scale. You just look at the popular culture, what the average woman today has to say about men who on average work more hours than them. They always complain about how women's labor is invisible, and for them, somehow and for them, men's labor is never enough for themselves. They're projecting hard again. They too are projecting themselves, right? Just like normies like this. For them, men's labor, the men they're with, that's invisible, and they project that onto the men they're with. "Oh, you cannot see the labor I'm doing." Yeah, sure. Another point I was trying to get across is, when you have a 60, 70 hour work week and then your wife complains about you not doing the dishes enough, I still have to say another thing. Most of you guys, if you get your testosterone checked, you guys are not that kind of a person who's just gonna gain a good amount of muscle from just exercising. It's a fact, unless you are already tall, unless you already have a frame, most of you guys are not going to reach an attractive physique. I will just you know drop it straight on you guys' heads. It's probably not going to seep through the copper heads, by the way. But like in Hindi, as one would say, जिसको जिसको जानना है वो तो जान के ही चला जाएगा. लाइक, जिसको जानना है वो जिसको सीखना है वो सीख जाएगा. जिसको सीखना नहीं है उसको ज़िंदगी भर कोशिश करेंगे, वो कुछ नहीं कर पाएगा. लाइक, यू द पीपल हु वांट टू लर्न, दे आर गोना एक्सेप्ट इट सूनर और लेटर, एंड पीपल हु डोंट वांट टू लर्न, दे आर always gonna cope. They're gonna cope no matter what. You can't stop a coper from coping, like Rehab Room says. So this is the predicament that people, especially in a lot of these Eastern countries, have. And faced with this modern reality, and now you people will be like, "Oh, but bro, you can just get an arranged marriage." Guys, it's not the same thing in India or China or whatever, Iran, like it used to be even 2 or 3 decades ago. It's not the same thing, guys. In India, for example, you have this law that, let's say you find out you're going to get married, an arranged marriage with a bitch, and realize she is a bitch and she's been cheating on you. She can legally wreck your life because there's a law in India where women can jail their boyfriends or their husbands to be, because supposedly the man cheated on them by promising to get married with them and then having sex with them and not getting married to them. So this is basically a criminal offense in India, right? So you can't possibly prove or disprove whether or not you had sex. The court is going to take their words for it, in which case you have to take huge steps to in order to fix that, or by that time your reputation is already fucked. By that time your reputation is already gone. The Indian law system, it grants lease, it grants permission to these women who are looking to settle, who have a past, or who are just there for your resources, to actually exploit men like the average guy. If he finds out and tries to break it off, his life is ruined. And by the time you gather any kind of proof or evidence, it's already gone. It's already done.